What's going on, guys? Matt Manduke, and as you can see, I'm sitting behind a Jeep. Well, I'll tell you it's a Wrangler over there, a Jeep Wrangler. Let me turn the fan down so you're not hearing just that. I got this rental car for about 3 days in New Jersey, and as you can see, well, I haven't hardly used but maybe a quarter tank. Although there were some things that I want to point out on it. One, the audio control system is not nearly as intuitive as every other car that I've rented, which I've rented quite a few cars. It doesn't, like, it'll automatically connect, but you have to hit a bunch of buttons to get to media from your phone, and I mean, who listens to the radio anymore anyway? Other than that, that is also your backup screen camera, and if we put my hand to it, that is substantially smaller than almost every other car on the market. But then, same idea, so is the windshield. However, Jeep Wranglers themselves are kind of a niche thing, and you know, if you want it, you want it, and you know, if you just need a new one, you need a new one. The other thing that is different, and it may just be that it's an option that they didn't get, because I see there's a blank spot on the side of the steering wheel that is cruise control. But there's no active cruise control on this. Now, it's odd the Enterprise wouldn't get active cruise control, because it has accident avoidance, and it just, like, and it can't disable the accident avoidance. So, like, it makes the vehicle safer as a whole for anybody that's using it. It does have auto headlights, however, it does not have HIDs, and I'll show you that when I do the walk around. I'm not going to do that right now because, I don't know, I was waiting for my dog to finish eating, and that's why I decided to film this now. It does have controls for the radio here, and of course the phone, because everything has that. Behind the steering wheel, there are two buttons here that allows you to tune the radio. You can switch tracks and Bluetooth or change radio stations, and same thing on the other side. There is volume controls, so you can't really see that because of the way screens pick up on cameras, and I don't have an ultra high-end camera. I'm using a Galaxy Note 10, but other than that, I mean, the sound system in here is great. The steering area, like, I have plenty of leg room. The overhead, and I have had the top off several times. There's like 3 latches like this that just come undone, and then you got to pull that down, and then you got this, and then that's it. They just come off, and they're like between 5 and 10 pounds a piece for the 2 front ones. I can't remove the back one because I have nowhere to put it anyway, and it's a lot bigger and heavier, and well, it's a rental car, so I'm not removing the whole hard top. But the back seat is, well, kind of what you would expect it to be. And yeah, there's a Casper. He doesn't like to be on film, and he tries not to be on film all the time. He's a pain in the butt to take pictures of, but I do manage to. And we just got done going for a hike at the Mars River Bluffs, and he just had dinner, so he's all kinds of happy, and he's paying attention to what's going on around us, which is cool. Other than that, I mean, below the steering wheel, or below the media system, you know, you get what you expect out of air conditioning, because if you don't have air conditioning in a 2020, there's a problem. The window controls are in the middle, and they always have been in these Jeeps, and I never quite understood why. But it does allow you to cancel the auto control by flipping the switch, and like the auto up and auto down, which is kind of a nice feature. However, it only has one 12-volt outlet, which is kind of, like, it does have one in the back, which is nice, but it only has one in the front, which is kind of crappy. It does give you a USB-C and a regular USB and an auxiliary port, and there is a USB inside of the center console. So the center console has 2 compartments. The first compartment is just, well, that, and yes, I put a piece of trash in there. And then the second compartment is a little bigger, and yeah, I got some wrap snacks because I did a review on them a while ago, but you can see that that's quite a bit bigger. There's a lot of space down there, and there's a second USB there. Both of those USBs allow for smart control of the radio, and it is much more intuitive than using Bluetooth, which is kind of ideal if you're going to put your phone in your console and then it's out of the way and you're not distracted by it, because you don't have a big windshield to attach it to. And I haven't managed to get this thing to be able to hold it properly because the weight of the phone's too much for the way it grabs, and it doesn't get any tighter than what it is. If I put it on up and down, then it just sags down that way, and if I put it on the other way, then the piece itself sags down because there's no cross thing for it to grab onto, which has been I mean, I don't need GPS here, so it's just a place to put it. Other than that, there are 2 cup holders. They didn't think too much about the cup holders. Like, they put these little rubber things in so you can fit things and it'll grip them better, and there is like a slot here that I guess would work for a phone. But then what I say, they didn't think very much about it. It doesn't hold a Pepsi 1 liter. It didn't hold a thing of Gatorade. And these are the kinds of things you might think someone who owns, or wants to own a Jeep would would use at some point. So not being able to fit either of them, and the same thing, a lot of water bottles aren't going to fit in there. The back seat does have 2 water bottle or 2 holders, and like this 1 liter kind of fits, but really the 20-ounce bottle fits so much better, and I've been using them to water my dog because, well, it's my dog. And like I said, he's cooling off now after that cool walk. But I'm gonna end up getting out of here and doing the walk around, but I'll do the walk around later. Other than that, I mean, it is a push button start, which isn't anything new for me because a lot of cars are like that now. The key fob does have a key on it because the doors have keyholes, but other than that, nothing else does. I find that the key fob is bigger than it should be for really anything, because you see how big the buttons are, and even the key being here, they got all this extra space for no good reason. But I mean, I can't complain about that too much, but I kind of could, because as men, either put your keys in your pocket or do something like what I'm doing, and that it's just a big thing that's gonna, like, knock you in the balls when you're running. It is what it is. Other than that, I haven't went through menu controls. So, alright, so menu control is telling you what the PSI on the tires is. Tells you fuel economy. This thing is averaging 19 miles to the gallon. And it's saying that the range is 281 from 3/4 of a tank, but that's probably with the average. Right now I'm idling it, so that's going to take the average down. But I will actually justify when I fill up the tank whether or not it's been getting that. And, well, I didn't actually track the miles that I drove with it. The vehicle actually currently has the 18,080 miles on it. And the average is based over the last 4,500 miles. So, and that's how many engine hours are on it, 73 hours, which it's a new Jeep. It is what it is, but it's also from Enterprise, and it doesn't have all the options because it doesn't have HID headlights, it doesn't have any auxiliary lights, and like I said, it doesn't have active cruise control, so it is what it is. But it does have a 2 liter in it, which I assume is a 4-cylinder, and I want to believe it's turbo because it is very peppy, but it also has an 8-speed transmission in it. It does do the manual mode, and in manual mode it will hold the gear until you tell it to, which is kind of nice. And I can see why you would want that manual mode if you're using 4-wheel drive, which I'm not using 4-wheel drive because, well, it's a rental car and I'm not going to beat the crap out of it like that. I don't have any reason to use 4-wheel drive. But anyway, guys, like I said, I'm going to do the walk around. Alright, so you've already seen the inside. This is the outside. Yes, it is a different day. It's bright in the daytime. You can see my truck in the background. The reason why I do the outside, most people know what a Wrangler looks like, but I do the outside mostly because we don't know when people are going to watch this video. And while this is a 2020 Jeep, it is all LED lights. Excuse the idling of my semi truck. You know, it is what it is. The back door opens in two pieces like most of them do. If they have hard tops, or soft tops are a little different, but you can see all the way through, and it is nice and roomy back here. I have the top off just over the driver and passenger seat, and that fits in the back with extra space. It's not like that's even remotely a problem. I might be the first person to do that. Being it's a rental car, I haven't risked the idea of breaking the windshield by leaving it up. It does take a fair amount of force to put it down, but I wouldn't want it to hit the spare tire and then that be a problem. Yes, the gas cap is exposed, and apparently that makes it more rugged. I don't know. And I don't like this design. I noticed this on my buddy's older, I think he has a 2006, that it looks like it's made to have running boards, but they don't come with it. And if you don't order them, then you're not going to get it. Now, there is an option that I didn't realize until after I recorded the inside part, and it's doing it right now, where it shut off the engine. Well, maybe I just can't hear it over the truck, but it will shut off the engine while you're stopped, or while you're like just sitting around idling if you don't need it for climate control. No, it is still running, but I can't hear it over the 15-liter Detroit diesel, which is odd that there's a Detroit diesel in the Freightliner, which used to be a Chrysler company, but there's Cummins in the Dodge Ram. So they know damn well Cummins aren't dependable. But yeah, so you can see that the top is off, and that is very easy. Like I said, you can see where all the tabs are and how it lines up to put it back on, and they're only like 5 pounds a piece. But yeah, I think that the lack of running board, like I said, I noticed it on my friend's Jeep too, that like it looks like it's made for it because it has the exposed bolt holes for it, but then it's not there, and it makes it look like chintzy, like it's missing something. But it is what it is. That's a 2020 Wrangler, and well, I can pop the hood for you. Now, the lights are not HID, but I assume that's something that they just didn't include, because I'm sure you can get HID lights on probably any 2020. Alright, so it took me a second for that, but yeah, it's got a 2-liter in it, and I assume this is a 4-cylinder, but it might be turbo. Although I don't see a turbo. But it is peppy, but it is very peppy because of the 8-speed transmission, so it allows for a greater range in gear ratios, and this thing picks up and goes like you wouldn't really expect a Jeep to do. But I had to test the manual mode because I was curious if, you know, they put the manual mode in because it's a 4-wheel drive and you might want your low gears in 4-wheel drive, but no, the low gears are geared way too high, and it's going to defeat the purpose to be in first gear in manual mode if you're... Oh yeah, it is turbo. But it's going to defeat the purpose to be in manual mode if you're off-road and you need that lower gear, because it's like it's just red lines immediately. But you could be in a higher gear and maybe get better torque on it. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I am noticing some of these Easter eggs on this Jeep, because it's got the little Jeep in the window. I didn't see a lizard or a spider anywhere, but I wasn't really looking for it. There are flip-flops here, and like the Jeep symbols in the headlights, which should be obvious. And my truck's doing a park burn, so let me get on the front side of this thing. And like I said, thanks for watching. I'll see everybody in my next video.